who's projectively identified you as some sort of archetype of the bad alpha male, even when you might not be very alpha male at all, but that's the projective identification at work. The effect on you as the target, target of this kind of abuse is really, really deleterious in terms of its effect on your personality. There is something called narcissistic abuse victim syndrome, and it's a cluster of symptoms that almost exactly matches PTSD. So, as I said before, a damaged sense of self, emotional dysregulation, inclusive of uncomfortable flashbacks. These flashbacks may be actual memories of events that you'll get when you're driving, when you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, when you're going about your daily business. You suddenly vividly remember things happening, and it produces a shitstorm of uncomfortable emotion. Or the flashbacks may be purely emotional. Sudden feelings of overwhelming guilt, overwhelming shame, overwhelming sadness, overwhelming rage. So there are flashbacks there. Damaged sense of self, emotional dysregulation, a greater propensity to use, what is it called? Well, basically it manifests as addictions. The use of coping strategies goes up. People self-medicate. They use alcohol, they use over-the-counter drugs, they use street drugs, whatever it is. Addiction to gambling, to porn, to all kinds of things, just to not feel that pain. The side effect of all of this is going to end up with your serotonin levels going down. If the serotonin levels go down, serotonin drops. Listen, nobody has depression because their serotonin is low. That is a ridiculous, non-scientific logical fallacy. It's called cum hoc ergo propter hoc, which means with this, therefore, because of this. So what psychiatry has said is, because serotonin is low in people with depression, they're depressed because their serotonin is low. It's ridiculous. It's childish and wrong. What happens is, when all of this, when you've experienced massive trauma and you don't know how to process the overwhelming emotions and grief of that trauma, and this starts to kick off, your serotonin naturally will drop. The problem with your serotonin dropping, now everything I've said is mainstream, peer-reviewed research, backs everything I set up. This is me taking something Jordan Peterson said and running with the ball a little bit further than he did. And I'm going to do the cum hoc ergo propter hoc thing again, but in a different context. With this, therefore, because of this. So if the serotonin drops, what Jordan Peterson pointed out with his story of the lobsters, or he was talking about the research amongst lobsters, when they climb up the social hierarchy, their serotonin levels go up and they posture. They posture big with their back straight and they go, I came up the social hierarchy, I'm fucking awesome, great. And actually when they're tested, the central nervous system boosts the serotonin that lets the brain know, I'm a fucking awesome lobster, I am. Look at me with my back straight, posturing up. The social hierarchy, the higher up you go, the more serotonin your brain rewards you with, and the lower, the lower. So if this is a hypothesis, I don't know that it's true. I think that what might be happening is as you go up the social hierarchy, your serotonin levels increase, but why we have decreased levels in serotonin amongst people who are depressed is nothing to do with some biological, individualized, pathologized thing in them. It's because of their depression, they're dropping out of the social hierarchy, because all of this leads to social isolation. And when we're socially isolated, we drop in the social hierarchy. We're now not significant. We're not significant. We're not contributing. We're not connected. And we're not offering value. The way we tend to think about things is like, you're an individual, you're a consumer, you need to receive value. It is just as important for you as a human animal to be offering value as it is to receive it. We're tribal creatures, we need each other, and to help each other and cooperate, I suspect, increases serotonin levels. to be connected with other humans face to face, not through the internet, but to actually sit with them and talk with them, I believe will increase serotonin levels, as will contributing, as will being significant. Being known in your tribe, being unique, people knowing your name and knowing what you do, I think increases serotonin levels. If your serotonin levels are up, it doesn't matter whether you really are high in the social hierarchy, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel as though you are, which solipsistically is the same fucking end effect. It's been said so many times that it's a cliche. What good is it being super rich, super wealthy, super successful if you feel like a piece of shit inside? It's no good. You want to feel good. And that is a biochemical effect of, I suspect, of being higher up in the social hierarchy. The project that you have here